All right, and welcome to the Blacklist sessions. It is a crazy time in this world. Who knows what's going to happen today or tomorrow, but I'm really excited because right now we have my favorite person named Chelsea coming onto the podcast remotely. So, Chelsea Berman, how are you?
Good. Am I your favorite person or your favorite person that's called Chelsea? I just want to clarify.
Definitely my favorite person named Chelsea.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Thanks.
I might get in a bit of trouble if I say that you're my favorite person.
That's true.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on. It's a little bit different, this one. Normally we have people in the studio, but of course the Rona's got everyone, so we have to stay home.
Yes, the Rona. It's unfortunate.
Happy days. Oh, well. Anyway, so I want to have a chat to you for a number of different reasons, because you do a lot of different things which are really exciting and are very different to just being a country music artist, which is really cool. But we'll start with country music. So how did you get started in country music?
Yes, good question. I didn't really grow up, I guess, being interested in country music. Like, I guess my parents played it a bit, but it wasn't the main thing they played or anything like that. But yeah, I just I started out in musical theatre doing that when I started singing. So I was doing that for a while and then did a few other things, pop, folk, tried it all really. But never really connected to anything that I thought was really for me. And then I went to the Tamworth Country Music Festival probably 6 years ago now, I think. For the first time. And yeah, I really fell in love with country music from then, just being immersed in it all. And yeah, ever since then, I've pretty much transitioned to, doing only country. I was in a duo at the time and the duo partner wasn't as keen as I was. So that was a bit of a struggle, but it was good when I got to go solo and just, sing the type of music that I wanted to sing, which was country.
For sure. It really is one of those genres. I can still remember the first time that I heard modern country music, and I was down at the pub with a couple of my friends, and I heard a song that was by Big and Rich, and I didn't actually know at the time that it was Big and Rich, but I heard this song come on. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is amazing.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends turned to me and said, that's Big and Rich. That's country music. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's pretty much like me as well. Like, I didn't really know, I guess, what country music was. I had those prejudices in place, I guess, where you think you know what it is. But then, you listen to the modern stuff and you're like, wow, this is really cool and definitely something that I connect to.
Yeah, and it's just such a great industry too. Like, everyone in country music's so friendly.
100%. I was so shocked at literally how friendly everyone was. Shocked in a good way. But yeah, no, everyone's been so lovely. And I think that just, has made me connect to it even more. Yeah,
especially when you compare it to a few other genres. There's I think a little bit more ego in a few other places, but not in country music.
For sure. Yeah, that's something that I'm grateful for.
Yeah, definitely. So you've made your mark pretty recently in the country music sector. So what are some of the biggest things that you think have helped you to break into the market?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely has been recent. It's only been a few years now. I think the main thing, I guess, that I started out doing was really social media. I think obviously I was playing, some local gigs and stuff like that, but I definitely wasn't playing anything with a profile in country music or anything like that. No festivals. I think I kind of just started out on social media, kind of building my profile a bit that way. And also connecting with, supporters, but also other people in the industry, other country musicians. That was a really big help. Because I remember I went to Tamworth for the first time kind of solo, and I also released my first EP at the same time. And it was so cool to kind of connect with people that knew me through social media that, I'd literally never met before. And it's really, I think it's just cool how it creates that kind of community. And I think that was, really a big help, definitely at the start.
Yeah, very much so. Like the two things that you mentioned there, social media and the network, I think are the two most important things out of literally everything that you could do. Like take the social media, for example. What have you done with your content that you think's really helped to grow your brand?
Oh, I don't even know, really. I always say, I think just being yourself, especially in the country music industry, people just want to see real people. I think it's a bit different in the other genres of music like pop and that kind of thing, but definitely for country music, literally just being yourself and connecting with people on that level, I think has really helped me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you're right there. You know, it's that authenticity and relatability that's so important. You know, like you look at, say, pop music and people are just wanting the sheen, you know, they're just wanting that kind of surface thing. But I guess it really goes along with the music in country as well. You know, it's all about songs and stories. So I think all of those things have to come together to create a brand that's really congruent, I guess.
100%. Yeah, that's definitely true.
Awesome. Okay. So, and also networking. How did you go about meeting the right people in country music and making the right connections?
Yeah. So literally most of it was on social media, like even most of my support act gigs that I've gotten, that's through, just connecting with those artists on social media, engaging with them and building that relationship that way. But of course, I've also, been at as many country events as I can, festivals, talking to people that way. And as you said, everyone in country is so bloody nice. So you literally just go to these events, you have a drink and you just, you're friends with everyone. So I'd say social media has been a big part of it, but also, getting to those events and meeting those people in person is really important as well.
I think that's really important for people to take into account. Like if they're looking to build a career in music, is a lot of people go, I just haven't got the connections to do it. I just don't know the right people.
Yeah,
well,
go
how
meet
do you
them.
think you do it?
Exactly. Yeah, you just have to really put yourself out there and not be embarrassed to, message someone on Instagram saying, hey, if you need a support act, I'm here. That's literally how I've gotten a lot of my support acts. So just have no shame, really, and just put yourself out there. That would be my biggest advice.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice. So you said that social media was a big part of kind of building the brand and also building the network. So you must be having a whale of a time at the moment with this whole situation.
Oh, look, if you can put a positive spin on it that way, then I guess I am. But I'm glad that we have this platform that we can still connect, to people. Imagine if we didn't have it and this was going on. We just, I think we'd all go crazy.
God.
I couldn't even imagine.
It'd be terrible. You go back not that long ago in history and, no phones, no internet, no video, anything like that. Man, people must have been so bored.
Oh, I can't even imagine what they would have been doing.
Yes, well, I am very thankful for the internet, one of the great inventions. So how has this mandated government shutdown, obviously it's in place to protect a lot of people. How has this shutdown affected your music?
Yeah, so it has, of course, cancelled some of my gigs. I didn't have actually too many booked in the first half of the year because of my Nashville plans. So I guess I was, kind of keeping it quiet until then so I could, save money and plan everything. I guess the second half of the year is when most of my stuff is booked in at the moment, and luckily that is still booked in currently, which I hope stays that way. I guess the biggest thing would be Nashville at the moment, which I'm supposed to go to in May. I really don't think that's happening. I'm trying to accept the fact that it's not happening, but it's definitely hard to accept that when I've been, wanting to go to Nashville for so long and been planning this specific trip for, over a year, planning every detail. It's hard, but I definitely don't want to complain because I know, some musicians have lost their entire income. A lot of musicians have lost their entire income. So I definitely don't want to complain too much because I'm definitely in a better position than them because I do have another job. But it's definitely hard. It's hard for everyone. So I guess that's how it's affecting me so far.
Yeah, it sure is a really tough time. I'm in the same boat, all of the gigs were just completely wiped out. So thankfully, both of us have a bit of diversity in income, which I think is really important for all artists to have. In times like this, like I've noticed a lot of artists like Andrew Swift, who is just on his way to Nashville and then the entire thing got shut down and he had to come home. He's doing quite well selling CDs, and he's received a lot of people that are gonna buy them, and he's sending a lot out, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah.
So getting that diversity is something that's really important.
Oh, 100%. Even with, all the small businesses now that some of them, can't operate, it's really important to try and get as much as you can online to still kind of be able to run your business, I guess. Obviously, it depends on the type of business. But I think that's really important for musicians to do as much as they can now as well, and especially to, get some money in so they can continue living and, funding their music careers as well.
Yeah, for sure. Something I was really big on in the boom time, which has been like the last 10 years, so it's been quite a while, is to really develop a strong emergency fund. So that way, when you get times like this, 6 months, it's not a problem at all. So it's something I'd probably advise to, a lot of people. If you've got money saved away for when times aren't so great, it's really hard to go too wrong.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a good idea. Saving something I've been doing, a lot in the past year, and it's really helped me, not be stressed out, especially with, such a diverse income that music is. And, you don't really know when you're getting paid a lot of the time. So, it's definitely important to have that fund there.
That's right. So what are some of the things that you've done to mitigate this drama for your music? So obviously heaps of gigs have been cancelled. Is there anything that you're working on a little bit more to try and get through this period where musicians basically can't play live?
Yeah, so I have planned a live concert on Facebook. That's the main thing that I'm looking forward to at the moment. So that's happening on April 5th. And that's going to be fun. We're going to try do a bit of a setup for it. So it's not just, like a normal Facebook Live, which most musicians do a lot of the time. We do want to make it a bit of a concert, a bit of a spectacular as much as you can over Facebook. That's what I'm kind of planning for at the moment. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be free. I'm doing it with Jake Davey. Both of us do have other income, so I don't really feel right, asking people for money. But we will, try to sell some of our merch. But really just we want to be playing music. So that's the main thing we're doing. But other than that, with my Nashville rights, I've actually contacted them and trying to do Skype writing sessions for those. So hoping to do those soon. And then, hopefully I can actually push my releases that I was planning for later in the year up a bit. So that's a positive, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And I think another positive is, as much as we can be positive about it, is that, we're all kind of in the same boat here. So I guess in the case of like your Nashville rights, people in Nashville are suffering the same thing. So they kind of have a bit more understanding and, we can work together to make things happen. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, it's not like it's just kind of, a small group of people. It's literally the entire world. So it's kind of, I don't want to say it's good in a way, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
It's the human spirit. We can all come together and do as much as we can do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm working on a few other ways as well to try and help a lot of musicians get through this period. I'm just currently building out the live streaming capability to be able to do professionally recorded live streamed like shows from different camera angles and lights and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
That artists can like really put on a spectacle and have like a decent ticket price and still have an opportunity to make some income in this time where it's insane.
Yeah, no, that's such a great idea because, I know I wouldn't even have a clue how to set it all up. So I'm sure that will be very helpful for some people. And as you said, it kind of makes it a bit more of a spectacle and not just you in front of a camera. It does make it more of a concert.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So only a few people know, but you're actually a complete marketing whiz. And I think that this is one of the reasons that you've really excelled in the marketing and the branding of the Chelsea Berman brand. So what can artists do in this respect to really build a brand and market themselves effectively?
Good question. As I said, I guess trying to get as much of your stuff online as you can for musicians. That's going to be merch, that's going to be concerts, anything that you can kind of put online that is available and also will make you some income for all those people that have lost their income is really important, so you can kind of keep business going as much as you can. Obviously, it's totally different, but, it makes a difference. Mm-hmm. And, I'd say just keep building that personal brand. So be yourself and literally create a brand around that. Definitely don't try and be a different person because that just doesn't work out for anyone, especially musicians in the country genre because, all the fans, they just want to connect with someone. That's why people like Brad Cox, he's so popular and he's grown so much just because he's so real. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really big thing that not people don't do, but I think people do miss that sometimes when they're creating their brand, when they're posting on social media, when they're doing their shows, all that type of stuff. So, I'd say that's just a huge tip from me just to literally be yourself, and also be really active, I'd say, in this time, whether that's, getting on your Instagram stories every day, doing live videos, posting as much as you can, just really trying to still connect with people, especially when everyone pretty much is at home, the musicians and the supporters. So you do want to try and still be connecting with people and keeping that community alive while you're all at home. I do also suggest, I know a lot of artists do this now, and it's awesome, creating a bit of a private Facebook group for your biggest supporters. So I have one, and I know a lot of other artists do. And this is just a place where you can do, some exclusive things, get everyone in a group. With the algorithm on Facebook, people see group posts a lot more than they do just, your page posts. So if you do want to get a lot of reach on them and to your biggest supporters, then I'd suggest doing that as well, and also being really active in that as well.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, just being really active and just being really authentic.
Yeah.
There's a real age-old debate. They're like, should I go for a quantity approach? Should I just try and post as much as possible? Or should I, post less and really aim to up my quality? Now, I'm a massive advocate of both. I think you should be doing both, and there's no reason that you can't. One, because who defines quality? And two, you have the tools available to make quality, in quotes, posts pretty much every day. And I think that's one of the things I really admire about your social media, is that you are very active and the quality is really high as well.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Every time I see a photo that you've posted, it looks like it's been properly edited. It's been shot raw in a camera and then edited properly and then posted, rather than, too much of just an iPhone shot every day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's really good to have a balance. I know, some people just post, those grainy kind of iPhone shots every day, and that's totally fine to do, most of the time or some of the time, depending on your audience and depending on the resources that you have available. But I think, keeping that quality up for a lot of your posts is a really good idea. It just looks nicer. It's going to engage people more. But I think it's funny in the country music industry, obviously with my clients, with my social media business, I'd say, do quality probably over quantity most of the time. But I feel like, again, coming back to that, country music fans, they really love that real kind of person. I think a lot of the time they don't care if you just post, something that's, a photo's not of the highest quality, you're not wearing makeup, you're not all dressed up. They kind of resonate to that more. But I'd suggest really still keeping that quality, I guess, in your captions and telling a story through those instead, if your photo, I guess, isn't up to scratch.
Yeah, fantastic. Stories are always a great way to communicate. So with your social media business, do you work exclusively with country music artists, or do you have a mix of businesses? What are you doing there? Yeah,
no, I don't actually work with any musicians. When I first, I guess, thought about this business, which was quite a while ago now, I did want it to be surrounded around music, I guess. But I think I don't want to sound rude saying this or anything, because I do the exact same thing. I think artists have trouble investing in things a lot of the time, and I'm totally the same. I'm always, I guess, because I don't earn that much from music, I'm kind of like, I don't want to invest a lot into it, but you have to build it. So it's definitely tricky. So I think if I did just work with country music artists, I wouldn't have much success in the income space, just because of that struggle, which, as I said, I totally get. I do the exact same thing. So I actually mainly work with e-commerce businesses and in a variety of industries, really. But
fantastic. Yeah. It's really that diversity of income, I think, that's really important too. Because if you're spreading yourself across a number of business sectors within e-commerce, then you have a lot more chance of surviving through a time like this.
For sure. And it's fun as well. I know people say niche down to one specific industry, but I feel like I'd get really bored doing that. So I like a diverse profile of clients. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, I totally agree with that. A lot of people ask me, do you like playing more? Do you like doing video more? And in a perfect world, I'd be doing a show and I'd be doing a video, opposite every single day. Yeah,
for sure. No, I'm so lucky that I can do, so much creative stuff all the time. Because as a musician, obviously I'm a very creative person. So I love being able to do all that I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how awesome is being able to work from home?
Oh, it's so cool. I haven't gotten sick of it yet. I guess I've only been doing it for a few months now, but no, it's definitely liking it so far.
Oh, geez, the traffic going from the bedroom to the lounge room, sometimes it's just too much.
Insane. Sometimes I'm just going to stay in my bedroom.
Oh, happy days. Okay, so what content do you think has worked best for you? Like what generates the most return on investment for your clients? Is it videos, photos, text?
Good question. I'd say a mix of everything. I know that's not really what you asked, but I do find, as you said, kind of a balance of everything really works the best from what I found. I always say kind of create a personal brand if you can. I do find, when people are showing the face behind the brand and the face behind the business, those pieces of content always work really well and get a lot of engagement because people like buying from people, at the end of the day. Even if you're a service provider, people want to see who they're actually working with and learn a bit about you as well. So I always come back to, know, like, and trust. So if people know you, if people like you, they like your values, they relate to you. And also if people trust you, so they know, that your products work, that you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about. I think if you're covering those three, then you're going to go pretty good on social media.
Yeah, well, I think that's a really good point. Yesterday on the podcast, I had a guy called Jacob Galea, and he's a multi-millionaire business coach, and he basically outlined the exact same thing because he has his company, but he also has a really strong personal brand that he runs in tandem with the company. Yeah. And I think there's many great examples of that, such as Tesla and Elon Musk. Tesla would just not be Tesla without Elon Musk. And I think a lot of businesses, could benefit from that model. And it's a similar one, I guess, to how I run my business as well.
Yeah, for sure. And it works, in the music industry as well. As I said, coming back to, just building that personal brand. I've found it to work pretty much across all industries, all different types of business. It's a really good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, well, that's it. People just love people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Chelsea, you turned $1,000 into $29,000 for a client.
I did.
Step us through that process because I'm sure everyone wants to know how to turn $1,000 into $29,000.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I know it's been good for me when I posted it, but it also was a bit of a struggle because then, all types of businesses were coming to me saying, do this for us. This would, change our business. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work for everyone. It depends on, the data you already have, the customers you already have, and of course, your offer, your product. But this particular thing, was done through Facebook ads. So I've been really investing in my Facebook ads training since I've started this business. I wasn't planning on doing Facebook ads kind of as a service, I guess, when I first started. But once I looked into it and how amazing it can be, I was like, I need to learn this. I need to offer this to my clients. So this client, they had been doing Facebook ads for quite a while before I started working with them. So they had a lot of that really good data built up through Facebook because, Facebook takes time to learn when you're doing Facebook ads. So time to learn your audiences, what they resonate with, and the right type of people that are actually going to convert through those ads. So they'd been doing it for a while, which really helped when I came in because I didn't have to go through that kind of slow learning phase. It just kind of picked up straight away. And and then from the strategies that I've learnt, so they have different campaigns for, a Facebook ads funnel. So I actually did an Instagram story about this today, but basically you want to push people through the buyer journey. So say you start with cold audiences that have never heard of you before. You want to push ads out to them that kind of introduce your brand, and don't really sell anything, don't really mention particular products. You just are really introducing yourself and your brand. And then once you get to kind of the middle of the funnel, you can use those best performing audiences from that top part of that funnel. And then you can, start introducing your products. I wouldn't, do a hard sell or direct to any specific types of products, but just kind of talking about your range and getting people to your website. Website traffic is so important in Facebook ads because it's just great to retarget.
Yep.
And then that bottom of funnel is going to be when the sales start coming in. And that's, where we got all those amazing sales from. So that's after building up those two upper funnels, then they come into the bottom. And that's when you really sell to them and get people buying your products. And those are all the warm audiences that you've built up through also your organic social media. That's a really great warm audience. So it's just kind of getting those cold audiences to warm through Facebook ads, through social media, and getting them to purchase. So that's kind of how we did that, which sounds probably quite complicated, but it worked really well, which I was very excited about.
Yeah, it really is very multi-layered, isn't it? There's a lot that goes into behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not, as I said, people were just coming to me saying, "Oh, can you do this for us?" And I'm like, "Really, not really, unless you're doing all these things beforehand, or if you have quite a few months for it to kind of build up to those great results." So it's a bit of a struggle trying to explain it to people, but it definitely has some great results if you're willing to put in the time and invest the money.
Yeah, that's right. You need to be able to walk before you can run. And I find sales and marketing is very much like dating. Like, you're not just going to go out and go to bed with someone like the first time, it's something that takes time, you have to develop a relationship and build trust. And it's very much the same in business.
Yeah, 100%. It's so important to do all that before you just try and sell things to people because, as you said, you're not going to just do that on the first date. I definitely agree. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, what are some of the benefits of working for yourself and not working as an employee for someone else?
Yeah, so I've actually only gone full-time in my business this week, actually, which was an interesting week to go full-time. But I was working in a marketing agency last year. I finished up with them, and that's when I actually started working from home. So I was working mainly on my business, but I was still doing a few days at a social media agency from home. And then, last week I finished up with them and now I'm going full time. So I have, I guess, been working for myself for a while, but this is officially this week. I make all my own hours. I can do whatever I want, which is scary at the same time because you do, have to have motivation to actually get shit done.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so I guess that's a bit of a con, but you asked for the pros, so I'll give you the pros. Definitely just working your own hours, especially with, I guess, my music. It's been awesome to, be able to just do my music at the exact same time. Like, I can be home, I can work on my business in the morning, and I can work on my music in the afternoon. And you just can't do that when you're working, a 9 to 5 or anything like that. So, I think having such a flexible job. I did, have quite a flexible job before. They let me, take time off for festivals and stuff, which was really helpful. But it's at a whole new level now. So I'd say flexibility is definitely a big part of it. Also, I guess kind of being able to control your income. So if you do have a release coming up music-wise, you do need some more income, you can kind of go look for some more clients, do a bit of one-off work to get some more cash in. I think that's a really big bonus as well, because I guess a lot of jobs you can only work your set hours. And you can't really go past that. So it's been really cool to, kind of choose my income and work like that as well.
Yeah, it really is great. And I think what you've outlined there is exactly the truth. I love being able to get up on a Monday morning, do a bit of work from home and then decide, I'm going to go and have lunch with the fiance today. It's going to be great.
No, it's awesome. And I'm so excited to see how it continues to help me.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that's really great about it is the accountability. I love the accountability and knowing that unless I do the work, things aren't going to get done. And there's a lot of people that are relying on my business to deliver some great stuff. So I love the pressure. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't know. I guess I'm a bit of a weirdo in that respect.
Yeah, no, I like it as well. I know what you mean. Sometimes it can be scary, but I think you just have to have that mindset of, what you said, like you're doing this to help businesses get results or help clients, whatever. So you just need to do it. And if you enjoy it, then it doesn't really feel like work anyway.
Yeah, that's all right. So what are some of the future goals that you're aiming to achieve, both in music and with your business?
Yeah, sorry, I was just turning my camera on again. It stopped recording.
Oh, no.
Okay, we're good. So my goals for music, I'd say, get some really awesome songs written this year with some awesome writers. That's a big goal of mine at the moment. And then release them. So, I'm wanting to do quite a few releases this year. I'm still, figuring that all out at the moment because, everything that's gone on at the moment, I'm pushing it up a bit. So working out when I'm going to release things, but there definitely will be a few releases this year, which I'm really excited about because I feel like I haven't released music for so long. That's a big goal of mine this year, to just release some really awesome music. Another goal was to do some touring. I don't know what that's going to look like now. So I guess just wait and see. But I've really been wanting to do some touring for a while now, and especially, with running my own business now, I can be flexible with that. So I can go on the road, work in the days and play in the nights. So that's kind of the dream. Something that I really want to do this year. But, if it doesn't happen this year, it'll happen next year. So just changing my timelines a bit at the moment. But I'd say those are my two main ones for this year. And of course, hopefully play some more festivals, some more support act gigs. I love doing all of that. So I'm always up for some more gigs like that.
Yep.
And business-wise, I'd say, just grow my business, I guess, to a comfortable size where I don't need to really be looking for any new clients. I can take some on for short periods of time, but I'm kind of booked out in a way, but not a crazy way. Like I still have time for my music, still have time for myself. I'm not really, I'm not in a rush to do that. I'm comfortable with where I am at the moment. So I guess that's just more of a long-term goal. See how I can grow this business really. I'm not really, in this business, I really haven't planned much, which is probably a bad thing, but I'm kind of just going with the flow, seeing how it grows. That's been going well so far. So fingers crossed it keeps going well. But I've been liking it so far.
I think a lot of people are really big on like business plans and, having a lot of very structured goals. I kind of run my business a little bit differently. Like I like to, see what the market needs. What are people going to need today? What are people going to need tomorrow? And what's not going to change and what is going to change? And, without having really strict, stringent goals, it kind of allows me to mold to what's needed. Like in this case, where the entire world's gone on hold, I didn't anticipate going into the live broadcast space, but of course, it's something that's popped up and has allowed me to quickly pivot and go in that direction.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think you can, have that underlying business plan, which I still don't even have. But I think that's probably a good thing to have. And then being able to pivot, quickly is, a really great thing, especially with everything that's happening recently. So, I definitely think that's a good way to run your business.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's go back a few years to young Chelsea. So young Chelsea was looking at wanting to be a country music artist and play songs. What advice would you give to yourself when you're first starting?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'd say, I haven't really even thought about this before. I'd say
it's a tricky one.
Yeah, I'd say literally just be yourself. I know I've said that about 20 times in this podcast, but I guess when I first started out, not that I wasn't being myself, but I wasn't really sharing as much, as I share now, and wasn't really being truly 100% real and authentic. So I think I kind of just tell myself to do that, not really worry about what other people are doing, which I still need to work on. Not caring what people think, because at the end of the day, if people are going to like you, they're going to like you. And if they don't, they don't. So I think that's a good thing, a good mindset to go into when you're first starting out in music or in anything really. That imposter syndrome is a beast, but just trying to fight that, I guess, as much as possible.
Yes, incredibly important advice there. Don't care what other people think. Just go out and do. Have heaps of self-belief and self-confidence.
Yeah, and it's definitely something that, you can build up over time. I know it's hard to have straight away, and I definitely didn't. If you can, that's amazing. Go for it. But don't be scared to build that up over time. And your confidence will just grow more and more every day, which I found. And it's been amazing.
Fantastic. Oh, well, Chelsea, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's great that we could chat, even knowing, it's kind of tough to see people in person. But, I really appreciate getting you on here and sharing a lot of those tips for social media and building a brand.
No, thank you so much for having me. This is my first podcast, so this has been exciting.
Oh, my gosh.
Thanks so much for having me. Hopefully I can see you soon.
Yes, I hope so too. So what's the best way for people to get in contact with you in regards to your music and also for your business?
Yeah, so as I said, I'm very active on social media, so definitely follow my music pages. If you just look up Chelsea Berman on Instagram or Facebook, you'll find me. There's not many Chelsea Bermans out there, luckily, so I should be the only one that pops up. And yeah, if you need any help with social media marketing, my company is called Blossom Media. And again, that's on Instagram, Blossom Media _ because I couldn't get just Blossom Media. And yeah, you'll find everything you kind of need to know there. So yeah, social media is the place to find me.
Fantastic. So Chelsea Berman, Blossom Media, thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. It's been great to talk to Chelsea. I love doing this podcast because there's just so many interesting types of people. We have country music superstars, we've got multi-million-dollar business people, we've got authors. You just never know who's going to walk through that door or pop up in line in this case. No one's walking through any doors at the moment. So stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more episodes during this period because what else is there to do? We can't go outside.
Exactly. More podcasts.
That's right. So thank you guys for tuning in and we'll see you later.